Hello my friends, in this video we'll be taking a look at the autosomal DNA results, predicted phenotype and some traits of an Anatolian Neolithic farmer from Barson. Let's begin with this video. His mitochondrial lineage is X2, I'm not sure where that's most typical, you can look it up, and his Y-DNA is G2A2. Very interesting. G2A2 is, I think, the lineage I think it's most commonly found in the Caucasus actually, and not in Europe, which is kind of interesting. Now we're gonna go ahead and look at what he scores with my noshacot, and just in case you, just so that you can keep track of what I'm doing here, the sample is I0723. I probably should have said that in the beginning of the video, but I'm gonna say it now. I0723, 0723 is the sample name. Although I am gonna include it in the title of the video as well. Let's go ahead and go into the trait predictor results. So we're gonna start with noshacot. This individual scores this with noshacot. It looks like they are scoring hazel or light brown eyes, although the likelihood of hazel eyes is higher than light brown in this case. It looks like they are scoring brown or black hair, although the likelihood of brown hair is a little bit higher than the likelihood of black hair for them. They score light or fair skin, and they seem to score, it looks like, wavy or curly or straight hair texture. Basically any hair texture besides kinky, but the most likely hair texture for them is wavy hair. And let's go ahead and explore what went into this result, why they're scoring the way they are. Let's scroll to the very end. It looks like they have blue eye haplotype 1. Very good. This individual has blue eye haplotype 1. No blue eye haplotype 2, however they have this genotype which leads to lighter coloring and is usually predictive of blue eye haplotype 2, so there is a little bit of a dislinkage here, you could say. And this individual also does not have blue eye haplotype 3. So what contributed to the result being so light in terms of, eye color, hazel eyes instead of light or dark brown, or brown hair instead of black hair, is probably that they have blue eye haplotype 1 and they have this genotype. This is probably what contributed the most to this result. There's a lot of other SNPs that contribute, but these were the biggest contributing factors to them scoring brown hair and hazel eyes. Let's go ahead and explore their ethnic calculator results. So with the ethnic calculator results, this file is actually closest to Egyptian pre-Ptolemaic mummy, Levant Neolithic key RD003. Well, it's not exactly Levant, it's like it's also Turkey, but it's like really southern portion of Turkey. There's also Kenya Pastorialist Neolithic, which is kind of really really far, really stretched out. There's Berber, there is Chimera mercenary from the Caucasus, there's BMAC, there's Natufian, there's this, basically it's all very Middle Eastern people. However, keep in mind that this was done with 240 SNPs, and that's not a very precise prediction when you only use 240 SNPs for it. So the result seems to be a lot more southern shifted than the reality for this Anatolian Neolithic farmer. Let's go ahead and look at their polygenic risk scores. So for the polygenic risk scores, it looks like they have a slightly below average score for schizophrenia, average score for type 2 diabetes, and a slightly below average score for Alzheimer's. For the cancer section, it looks like they don't have any risk variance for cancer out of 8, although 8 isn't much. It really isn't much. This isn't a very high quality file. For testicular cancer, 4 out of 8. Once again, not much was found in the file. I can't really comment on that. For celiac disease, 0 risk variance out of 8, which is good. We'd like to see that. Nothing was found for GSS, so we can't really comment on that. And for Crohn's disease, 2 risk variance out of 12, which is kind of typical result pretty much. Let's go ahead and see what they score for monogenic traits. It looks like they have TT genotype in MAOA's RS6323, so they're Warrior genotype. So higher dopamine levels, slower breakdown of dopamine, therefore higher dopamine levels, and advantages in memory and attention tasks, disadvantages in stress resiliency. They have this genotype, which leads to slightly higher odds of schizophrenia, but it's not a particularly important variation for schizophrenia. They have AG in TAC1, so this definitely contributed to them scoring below average score for schizophrenia, because the A allele in TAC1 does decrease the risk of schizophrenia. It does a lot of things actually. It basically decreases the number of dopamine D2 receptor sites by 20% for every A allele. So in this case, this individual has simply a lot less dopamine D2 receptor sites. And there's a lot of issues that come together with that, such as high odds of Parkinson's, alcoholism, ADHD. A variety of issues come together with this. This individual does not have long form 5-HTT-LPR, so it looks like they have short form 5-HTT-LPR like most humans in the world. This individual does not have type 1 diabetes. Okay, this individual does not have any risk variance for Alzheimer's in APOE, which is very good to see. Okay, this individual does not have micro P. He does not have photic sneeze reflex. And what else is here? Not a carrier of albinism type 1B, really good to see. For familial Mediterranean fever, no risk variants were found. Out of the stuff he was genotyped for, which is only 2 variations, no risk variants were found. For MTHFR panel, typical good genotype, and another common genotype which leads to slightly higher than average blood pressure. For cancers panel, he's got this genotype which leads to slightly higher risk of testicular cancer, but it's not a particularly important. Actually, it is a particularly important. Yeah, it is an important variation. There's the way it works is kind of interesting. So you have this common genotype, which is the GG genotype, and it comes together with a slightly higher than average risk of testicular cancer. But there is an uncommon allele which actually greatly reduces the risk of testicular cancer. So in this case, this individual has a typical common genotype. This genotype in here, which leads to lower risk of leukemia, alright. And for celiac disease, it looks like no risk variants were found. No lower risk of developing a peanut allergy, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Thanks for watching my video until the end. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I'm gonna say you can download the file in 23andMe format from link which is in the description of the video. And well, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy. Goodbye.